Hello everybody, this is Kenneth Marks of The Ancestor Hunt. Today I'm going to be sharing with you part 3 of our 3-part series about how to use the Library of Congress's Chronicling America site for searching newspapers. Part 1 was all about finding all of the newspapers, some 130,000 of them, that have been published in America and where they can be found in original form or in microfilm form at different libraries, archives, or universities. Part 2 was finding all of the newspapers in the collection, over 6 million pages, that are in the Chronicling America site. And here in Part 3, we discuss how we find articles in the digitized collection. So let's get started. The URL is chroniclingamerica.loc.gov. Just to refresh, to find all of the newspapers, you go to the U.S. newspaper directory. To find which ones are digitized, you go to the All Digitized Newspapers tab, but we're going to focus on search today. You can search from the main page by entering the search term in this little white box. You can refine the search by selecting a particular state, and you can also do a date range by year, entering the from date here and the to date here. So let's go ahead and do a search really quick from the home page, and then after we're done with that, we'll do an advanced search. So I will enter a search term now. This happens to be a surname from someone in my family tree, and hit go. And as you can see, it comes up with 1,266 results. Just to show you what is on this page, it shows you the results. You can scroll through by going to page 2 of the results, page 3, etc. You can scroll with the little arrow here, or you can jump to a specific page. You can show only front pages, and you can sort by relevancy score, by state, by title, or by date. And you can also display 20 or 50 results per page. As you can see here, there is a series of thumbnails. The pink highlights are where the search term itself occurred in the result. So for this one is all about Mr. Bronhardt, and as you can see, the pink highlights are everywhere in this particular newspaper. So what we can do with this now is we can zoom by hitting the plus. We can zoom back by hitting the minus. We can go to a full page right here, and we'll exit that. And what this one does right here is it just brings us back to where we started. And that is how you zoom. There are 12 pages in this particular publication of the San Francisco Call from September 13th, 1899. I can go to page 1, 2, 4, 9, etc. Any of them that way. Right here, you can see this right here. This is the information you would use for your source citation. It has the name of the publication, the location, the date, where it's from, and the persistent URL link. So this is what you need for your source citation. You can scroll through different issues. You can go to previous issues with this left arrow, or future issues past September 13th, 1899 with the right arrow. On the right, you can look at the OCR text as it came out of the scanning process, and here is all the text here. As you can see, you can scroll down, and this one looks like it's done pretty well. There's not a lot of words that are not picked up well. For example, here you can see this little caret here that was picked up by the OCR that I'm sure is not there. But this one is pretty good. Here's EERTAL. Obviously that is not a English word, and so there are some things that were not picked up well by the OCR process, but this one's in pretty good shape. Let's go back. I can save the entire page in PDF or in JPEG 2000. So that's how you do a search, and a little bit about the display. Let's go back to our search results. There they are, and you can pick another one. Obviously there are 1,200 to choose from, so let's see if we can refine that a little bit. And the way we're going to do that, we're going to do that via an advanced search, which is available by this tab here. If you hit advanced search, I will show you how this works. You can select a particular state, you can select a particular newspaper, you can do a date range by year, just like we did on the other page, by hitting this little radio button here and selecting the from year and the to year. You can actually pick a specific date in this option here by actually entering something in the calendar, and we can do the two. Let's go to here, and so this would search from January 14th, 1836 to December 2nd, 1922, but we're not going to do that, so let's just erase that. I can limit my search to only front pages or specific pages throughout the collection. I can choose a language such as English, French, or Spanish, and here is where I enter the search terms. I can search for any of the words, all of the words, a specific phrase, or a proximity search. And the way proximity search works is you enter two words and it searches for occurrences of those two words within 5 words of one another, 10, 50, or 100 as you select. So let's try to refine this a little bit. We're going to put a specific phrase in there, including Mr. Bronhardt's first name, and see what happens. There we go. His name is Samuel Bronhardt, and that's the same as putting quotes around two words. And we'll hit search. And now instead of 1,200 results, we have 201. So basically, that is how you do searches. We can show you some other things. We can refine that by leaving it at California, and again we'll put in the word here. Those are our search terms, and see what comes up here. Now we've dropped another 20 results, so there are approximately 1,200 total, 200 with this search term Samuel Bronhardt throughout the entire collection, and 186 from just those newspapers in California. So let's see what happens when we bring up a page and show you how to save an article. As you can see, as we bring it up, it highlights again the search terms that we chose, and we can zoom a bit. Zoom it a little bit more. That's a little bit larger. You can also use your scroll wheel on your mouse, and that scrolls it, not only scrolls it, but also zooms in or out depending on which direction you move the scroll wheel. Now, if I wanted to save that particular article, I've got a variety of ways to do that. The first thing I can do is I can use this little scissors over here on the right and clip on that. And as you can see, here is the article. I'm going to actually try to save this picture here, which I like. Again, at the top it has the source citation information as I showed you earlier. I could go ahead and right click on this and save image as, and save it as a JPEG on my computer if I choose to. And obviously I would change the name of the file. I can print the image if I wanted to, and it would print out this source citation information, which is very useful. And that is how I would do it one way. Another way to do it is to actually use your clipping tool on your computer. And what I would do there is click on that, and now I would draw a box around. Again, I'm just going to save this particular, actually it's not a photograph, is it? It's a drawing. And that is what I will be saved. And again, I can do a file save as. Change the file name, and it'll be saved as a JPEG. The difficulty with this one, and this is personal preference, is the pink highlights are included when you save it this way as a JPEG file. Now, if I don't want to save it as a JPEG file with the highlights, I could have used the previous one, which again was the scissors. There you go, you see no highlights there. Or I can download the entire page as a PDF if I choose to. And the way I would do that is I would save using the little floppy disk icon over here in the little toolbar on the right, and I can save the entire page as a PDF. As you can see, it's a PDF, and I would obviously again change the file name. But I could also use my snipping tool here and yet I've got another method to save the article of interest, and this time it does not have the highlights. As you can see, again, I would do a file save as. As you can see, it's a JPEG, change the file name, and I've got it. So I've got 3 ways so far, and I've shown you a way to actually save the entire page. And then there is one more thing to show you, and I could save the page as a JPEG 2000 file. And again, I would change the file name. This has a little bit better compression than normal JPEG, and if you have software that supports JPEG 2000, you can certainly use that feature as well. So let's refresh. This is the result of one of the searches. I can click to save the article, I can save as JPEG 2000 file, I can save the entire page as a PDF and clip the article from there without the highlights. I can look at the OCR text, which I showed you. I can scroll through issues backwards and forwards in date. I can look through pages by going left or right with the arrow or selecting a specific page. I can zoom in and out. Again, this is where the source citation information is, and that is quite useful, obviously. And let's go back to our searches. This is our search results. Again, I can show only front pages. I can sort by different ways of sorting, relevancy, state, title, etc. Show 20 or 50 a page. I can scroll through the results here. And let's go back to our advanced search. And again, select state, select newspaper, date range. Here I can do it by year or by specific date. Limit a search to front page or specific page, different languages, and again I can search for any of the words, all of the words, a specific phrase, or a proximity search. And that, my friends, is how you search using the Chronicling America site. Again, this is part 3 of a 3-part series, so I would encourage you to look at part 1 and part 2 if you have not. But this is how you find articles with the Chronicling America site. I encourage you to give it a try if you have ancestors that you're interested in seeing newspaper articles about, and happy hunting.